the head coach of America's team, Coach Mike McCarthy, every single Friday at this time, brought to you by Black Rifle Coffee Company, the official coffee of the Dallas Cowboys. Good morning, Coach, and welcome back to the show. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well. Good morning. It's good to be back.
Thank you for joining us. Did you stay up late last night for that game to end?
I didn't see the game, actually. Just, week one's always a little bit, a little more work involved. So we were pretty busy here on the offensive side of the ball last night.
Coach, does so much more work get put into the first game opponent than the rest of the year when you have obviously a lot shorter prep time? Do you do twice or three times the workload on the opening opponent?
Definitely. I mean, I just think it's the nature of the beast. You look at it the whole summer once you got the schedule set. But to be honest with you, the schedule is a little bit of a juggernaut. The bye week with just the way it's set up, you really don't get the work done that you would like to get done because you're still building your roster and and that thing sometimes runs all the way into Wednesday, and then Thursday's your last day because it's mandatory Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So you really just have a normal week. And the first game, in my experience, has always been the toughest because you've been working on it the most, and there's so many things you feel good about, and you got to really, really stay on top of your volume, and check yourself. So I spend more time in week one just making sure you hit everything. The first road game, how we travel. We had a number of player acquisitions right down here at the end, and just getting people acclimated. So you just have a lot of extra conversations that are time consuming.
When it comes to kind of studying the Browns, though, for like a week one or any week one opponent, during the season, you'll look at tape from, across the year. Heading into a week one, are you looking at a bunch of, at the end of last year's tape? And how do you factor in stuff like a guy like Jerry Jeudy, who's new to this team? Are you watching stuff he did in Denver? How does that approach work?
Definitely. I mean, it's just like anything. You have your schematical approach, and then you have your, the player matchup approach. You have historical components that you look at, the history of the coordinators. Obviously, playing in Cleveland, we haven't played in Cleveland in my time here. So you just, you're going through all those items and just make sure you're detailing it.
Coach, kind of wanted to go over your theme for the season for our listening audience, Rooted. Saw the T-shirts and the gear yesterday. Can you just kind of go over once again why you chose that theme for this season?
Yeah, definitely. I think, the origin is year 5, the story of the Chinese bamboo tree. You plant it and you basically water it for 4 years and, and you see nothing really above ground. But the reality of it, it's what's growing beneath it. And if you know the story of it, in year 5, within a 5-week period, it goes from 0 to 80 to 90 feet. So, and the reality of it is, it's not that it grew to 80, 90 feet in 5 weeks. It's really the root system that's been built over the 5-year period.
You steal one of your old kids' textbooks for that? How the heck did you find that little nugget out?
No, actually, a friend of mine just told me the story, frankly, back in February, and just my personal experience. In the last opportunity I had, won a Super Bowl in year 5, so that kind of generated the conversation. And then, and we also every year, we have a theme, but we have sub themes to it too. And we've done a lot of work with O2X, Human Performance Group, out of Boston, and they, I thought they did a really good job with our football team, and they had a slogan of, improving 1% every day. So we also accompany that as part of the theme, and the third component is, how you're going to do it, and that's, be where your feet are and stay in the present. So thought it was a good message this year.
Mike McCarthy, head coach of the Cowboys, getting you set for the opener on the D&M Leasing Hotline. Something that Jerry has repeated is what he thinks pressure does with people, that he likes to see how they perform under it. And I personally believe, some people can thrive under it, and some people, maybe a little bit irritated by all the pressure on them. In your experience, Coach, with a ton of pressure on guys, do you feel like it creates diamonds? Can it have an adverse negative effect when people are worrying about contracts and distractions and all the other things that we usually talk about in an NFL offseason or going through this year with so much on the line? How do you view pressure?
Well, I mean, that's a big question. One I'm not really going to get into right now. I think just the nature of this business alone brings a lot of pressure to every individual in it because just because of what you have to do to perform and succeed in this business. So, and that is a lot of pressure. And I think for people that are in this business over the long term, it's something that's you have to be able to endure and thrive in. So, that's the big picture. But everybody's situation is different. There's a personal component to this, and everybody handles pressure differently. So I think the professional part of it is you get up every day and you go full bore ahead, and you have to do it in this league, or your people are going to run right past you. So. But there's a personal component to this for everybody.
Coach, we've been trying to figure out Deshaun Watson in his time in Cleveland. Does he resemble, in what you've seen, does he resemble the quarterback we saw in Houston, or what's your take on what's going on with him?
Yeah, definitely. I think you just gotta stick to the video. I mean, you watch the games that he played, in the 10 games and 5-1 in the 6 games prior to that. His record, before the injury and everything. So. He makes them different for sure. This is an offense. They run the ball very well, and they have all the movements and keeps, big screen team. So, I mean, they put a lot of stress, on your C-gap, on your force components and things like that. So you got to be really in tune with that. You got to tackle well. And then, he's a playmaker. He's a dynamic player with the ball in his hands. So, yeah, I mean, that's the guy we're preparing for.
Is the Guyton, Myles Garrett type matchup, is that the one that you think might be really make or break this game, with his first start and his, first game in the NFL?
Well, I just think like anything, it's way we view them defensively, and obviously Myles is a great player, so and he's been playing at this level for quite some time. So regardless of who's playing left tackle, I mean, that's definitely a focus of us, of how we want to attack their defense. And they do a really good job of moving him around. He won't just be on the left side. He'll play someone on the right side, and, and they use him as the spinner and off the ball and so forth. But it's definitely the approach of, where is he every play, So when we break the huddle, we definitely got to know where he's lining up.
Coach, you said on Thursday you're not necessarily comfortable starting so many rookies against Cleveland, but you're confident. Is it important for those rookies, though, to be comfortable heading into this game?
Well, I did not say I wasn't comfortable. I just said I would not use the word comfortable. I don't think that's – I mean, who the hell is comfortable going into a football game? I mean, didn't want to be critical of the gentleman's questions. That's just not my nature. But no, I'm confident in our players. I'm confident in what these young guys have done. They've earned this opportunity, and most importantly, visiting with the leadership council last night, the veterans are excited about our young guys. So that speaks volumes to what these young men have done since they've been here.
Coach, was CD behind at all when he finally got into camp? Do you expect any kind of pitch count week 1?
Well, I mean, I would say he's behind. He's just kind of getting back into it. I mean, it's always the little things that every player goes through when there's time away from the group. So we'll continue to work through it. But he's hit every mark every day. So that's what you go by. We got 2 more days of practice, and really want to see how he is today. Yesterday was a big day. We were outside and just blew it out, frankly. I mean, we do comparables of, yesterday's practice compared to the last 3 practices this time of year, and the workload capacity was off the chart. So, I mean, the way these guys come in here today is going to be important, and he's definitely one of those guys.
You guys are very familiar with Deshaun Watson's top target, Amari Cooper. When you watch Amari Cooper on tape and see the way that he's performed these last 2 years with some quarterback instability, is there any part of you when you've been watching them this week where you think, man, I wish we wouldn't have let him get away?
Well, I think I just have such respect for Amari's game. When you watch, particularly his releases and his ability to understand, stems and breaking points. He's, obviously very, very gifted, but his route running is something that I've always had such respect for.
Mike McCarthy here on 105.3 The Fan. Coach, we know how much you believe in the run game. Help us understand what we may be missing with the concerns that many have over the group. Obviously, a lot of green offensive linemen with some of the inexperience. Why do you feel good about the running game heading into this season?
Well, to me, the run game is the one area where you have the least, opportunity to really practice it, full speed, just because of the limited pad practice compared to, how much more you can practice the passing game. So, again, so we're always going to be committed to it. The biggest thing is, when you look at the run game is, it's just like you have to get the attempts where they need to be. And I think, sometimes we can take, statistics and maybe not look as far as we could just to get the result. I mean, so when I'm talking about your run game numbers aren't always a true reflection of what you're trying to do. I think your time of possession, completion percentage, with the run game attempts, with the run game average, it's a collection of, what you need to do to control the ball. And I think last year's a very good example of that, just because the way our defense is built, and, we have a lot of guys that, they can really get after the passer, particularly last year's group. We were trying to stay off the field, win the time of possession battles where I'm going with this. And, and I think we were 5 or 6 plays less a game in 23 than we were in 22. So that's what I really focus on. And, we will be good running the football, and it's because we're going to commit to it.
Coach, the new kickoff rule is the one real major change. Last night, I know you said you didn't get a chance to watch it, but they, for the most part, except for one kickoff, they just kicked it deep and gave the ball to 30. Do you think that's what's going to happen across the league? Most teams just kick it deep, get them at the 30, and don't worry about the long kickoff? Or do you think this will be a trial and error, and teams may start one way and then change it up?
I think it's interesting, and I haven't talked to John yet, John Fossil, but I know just him and I were visiting yesterday, and I was curious just to see John Harbaugh and obviously Dave, just the special teams guys, they're respected in the special teams community, to see how they would come out the gate with the new role. And like I said, I did not see the game last night, so I was hoping to see the ball in play, and especially with it playing outdoors in Kansas City. But yeah, I guess we'll see how this thing goes. But I just hope we're not at 20% again. We're 80%. We got 80% touchbacks, because that's not the goal. And I think anytime you make changes in this league, especially the amount of work that went into making this change, I just hope we get the results, and the results, is returns. It's an exciting play.
Coach, it's great to have you back. Thank you so much for the time and the answers as always. Have a great day and a great start to the season. We'll do it again next week.
Awesome. Thank you, gentlemen. Have a great weekend.